Shank it, and it's also going to go out.
So the Coyotes are starting this one off strong. Score 2-0. Ramirez serves again.
Well, 3's going to dig it, and 7's going to pass it to 3. He's going to spike it over.
Ramirez digs it as Hennard passes it to Hennard, who spikes it over for the Coyotes.
Well, the Panthers are going to get it over.
Ramirez sets it for Rice, who spikes it over, giving the Coyotes another point. Ramirez serving once again.
Number 2 is going to try to spike it over, but it's just going to go straight into the net.
Ramirez serves over the net and good. As 6 is going to dig it, and it's going to go over the net and out of bounds. As Jal calls the first time out of this first set, so a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
We're back after that quick timeout with Ramirez serving again for the Coyotes. This ball's up and over the net.
Well, 3's going to shank it, and 6 is going to save it. The Panthers are going to get it over, but it's going to barely get in, I think.
Yeah, Rice thought that one was going to be out of bounds. Just a little bit of misjudgment, but nothing too big as the Panthers put the first points on the board of the game.
We have 3 serving for the Panthers now.
Serves over, dug by Dixon as Hennard passes it to Rice, taps it over for the Coyotes.
And 6 is going to pass it to 7.
She's going to get in the net there a little bit and end up not being able to get it over. Ybarra now serving for the Coyotes. Serves good.
3 is going to pass it to number 1. He's going to spike it out of bounds.
Ybarra's serve's going to be a little low and in the net, so she'll sub out for Young now.
One serving for the Panthers now.
Young's going to dig it as Ramirez sets it for Rice, who spikes it with a lot of power, and none of the Panthers are going to even go after that one.
Seven's going to set it to 10, is going to tip it over.
Ramirez is going to set it for Avery as she spikes it, and looks like number 6 for the Panthers is going to go for it, but she's not going to get there in time. Dixon now serving for the Coyotes.
Well, 3 is going to pass that to 2. He's going to spike it into the net.
Dixon's serve is good.
Well, 3's going to tip it over.
Young's going to go diving for it as Ramirez passes it to Rice, who gets it put over the net for the Coyotes here.
And 3's going to set it to 2. He's going to tip it over, but it's going to go out.
Good judgment call by Rice there to not go after that one, as it was out of bounds this time. Dixon serving again for the Coyotes.
Looks like 6 and 1 tried to both go for it, and
Dixon serves over. Looks like that rally's just going to fall apart for the Panthers, as the score is now 13-12, as Jal calls the second timeout of the first set. Quick advertisement and we'll be right back.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
Jal's timeout is going to come to an end here, as Dixon will be serving for the Coyotes as they come back from the timeout with a score of 13-2 as your Tatum Lady Coyotes lead the Jal Panthers. Dixon's serve is good. Little miscommunication on the court on Jal's side as to who is going to go after it, so that'll bring the score 14-2 here in the first set. Dixon serves over.
Oh, good dig by 2, and 6 is going to save it while 7's going to hit it over.
Ramirez sets it for Rice, who's going to shank it. So, not what the Coyotes want there, but I think that's a mistake they can easily get over, as they still lead the Lady Panthers by 11 here.
We have number 10 serving now, and the serve's good.
Rice sets it for Avery, who's going to tip it over for the Coyotes.
Well, 3's going to set it to number 2, but she's going to spike it out.
Rice will now be serving for the Coyotes.
Well, 3's going to pass it to 2.
Rice is going to set it for Avery, who's going to spike it into the middle of the court where none of the Panthers are able to go after it. Rice's serve is up.
7's going to pass it to 6. He's going to tip it over.
Flores tries to spike it over. It's going to be blocked by number 2. And she's just going to tip it over for the Coyotes now.
Well, 7's going to spike it over.
Colby with a good dig there, but not able to keep it together after that. So they turn the serve over to Jal.
And number 7 is serving for the Panthers.
Dug by Colby. Rice passes it to Young and gets it over the net for the Coyotes.
A good dig by number 6. Wow. Looks like number 3 is going to spike it over.
Avery's going to try to tip it over for the Coyotes, but not going to be able to quite get that done. Rice is going to tip it over, and it's going to be blocked by number 2 for the Panthers. So the blocks by number 2 for Jal are putting some points on the board.
Looks like Rice is going to try to set it, and it's just not going to turn out good.
Yeah, two-touch there, so that'll be a point for Jal. Seven serves good, and Flores isn't going to be able to quite catch it. Served again. Colby with the dig, and it's going to go into the stands, so Avery's not going to be able to quite get to that one. The Panthers seem to be showing some success with number 7 serving for him here in this rotation, as Colby's not able to get the dig on that one either, so looks like the Coyotes are struggling to dig number 7 serve.
Good dig by Colby, though.
Yeah, she's able to get it there as Ramirez passes it over for the Coyotes.
Well, number 2 is going to barely get it over. Looks like number 7, Abigail Dardon, has really been able to hold this serve here.
Yeah, I agree. In this rotation they've got. So Young's going to get it spiked over for the Coyotes.
And 7's going to set it to 3. He's going to spike it over with some power.
Yeah, Young's not going to be able to quite get the dig on that one. So Coach Pierce is going to call a timeout for the Lady Coyotes. Quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The Tatum Schools are a proud sponsor of this live broadcast. Tatum Schools are very proud of every single student. With the dedication in the classroom and the dedication in your community, you've made all of Tatum and Lee County very proud. All your hard work is paying off, Coyotes. The entire staff, faculty, and administration wish you the best of luck. For more details about Tatum Schools, please log on to tatumschools.org.
We're going to be back after that timeout called by Tatum, as Avery's going to get a good spike and change up the rotation there. So Coyotes struggled with number 7 serving for Jal. So I'm sure they're happy to have her out of the way, as Hennard serves for the Coyotes now.
Well, number 12 is going to dig it, and 7's going to set it to number 2. He's going to tip it over.
So that point's going to go to Jal after the Coyotes aren't able to quite get it over the net.
Now serving is number 2 for the Panthers.
Rice passes it to Flores, who gets the spike for the Coyotes.
Looks like number 1's going to hit it out.
Yeah, that's going to be out of bounds on Tatum's side of the net. I know Tatum had a pretty tough game against Jal last Thursday, so looks like they're trying a few different things out there to fix some of the problems they may have seen in Texaco, as there seems to be some confusion on the court. So it looks like the refs are going to have to talk this out. Not too sure what the confusion is. Looks like they're going to get it sorted out pretty quickly here, though.
Looks like the ball's turned over, and number 2 is going to serve.
So not too sure what the refs are calling here. Looks like that point for Tatum, though, is not going to count. As number 2 is going to serve it into the net for Jal. Bring the serve over to the Coyotes now with Flores serving. Flores serves is over.
Well, 7's going to set it to number 1. He's going to spike it over, but it's going to be blocked by Dixon.
Yeah, good job by Dixon there with the block. She's going to pass it to Rice, who will set it for Dixon to tip over for the Coyotes to where nobody's at, putting another point on the scoreboard for the Coyotes, as they are starting to put Jal away pretty handily here with a score 19-12. As Flores serves again, it's going to be short and in the net, so not what the Coyotes want to see.
Number 6 serving for the Panthers now.
DeLo tries to get the spike, but she's going to be blocked by number 10 for the Panthers. So looks like I spoke too soon as Jal's starting to make a comeback here as they only trail by 5 now.
Number 3 is going to set it to 2, or 7 is going to spike it over.
Rice sets it to DeLo, who gets a good spike for the Coyotes.
Number 6 tried to get there, but couldn't get there in time.
Ramirez now serving for the Coyotes. As it's going to be blocked by Dixon there. Looks like they may have called somebody in the net for the Coyotes. I'm not too sure. So that'll bring the score 15-20 here.
Number 3 serving now.
Dug by Colby. Ramirez sets it to Rice, who gets a good spike.
It's going to be dug by number 6, but it's going to go out of bounds.
That was a really good spike by Rice there for the Coyotes. I'd hate to be in front of that.
Yeah, I thought I saw flames behind it.
You may have. It was going pretty fast. Young will be serving for the Coyotes now. As her serve goes over the net, it's going to be barely in, so good ball placement by Young. I don't know if she intended that, but it worked out in the Coyotes' favor as the score is now 22-15 here in the first set. Serves again.
It's dug by number 6, and I guess number 3 thought it was going to go over, but it didn't. It was a little short.
Young serving again for the Coyotes. Barely over the net.
Good dig by number 7.
As Ramirez passes it, or sets it for Rice, who gets another good spike.
But it's going to go out.
So it looks like Rice may have been a little off on her ball placement, but the Coyotes still are only 2 away from putting them out in this first set.
Good serve by number 1. It's going to be tipped over by number 7.
Looks like Jal's trying to make a comeback here, but I have faith the Lady Coyotes can still pull it off as they're still ahead by a good margin. Ramirez is going to pass it over the net for the Coyotes.
Well, 3's going to set it to 10. He's going to spike it over.
Ramirez sets it for Colby, who spikes it over for the Coyotes.
And 3's going to set it to 7. He's going to spike it over.
Ramirez sets it for Avery. Try to get the block, but not going to quite get it. Ramirez passes it to Avery, who tips it over for the Coyotes. As the spike from number 2 is going to be out of bounds. With Dixon now serving for the Coyotes. This is set point here. And there's lots of Coyote fans that turned out. Kind of filling up the stands here in Jal. Maybe since it was one of the closer games, they were able to make it.
Two's going to tip it over.
Ramirez serves it, and Dixon's able to put it over for the Coyotes. So I don't think that's how the Coyotes envisioned it, but it worked out in their favor for sure. So the Coyotes win out the first set against the Jal Panthers. So a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the second set here.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington. Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
We're going to come into the second set here with number 3 for Jal. She's going to start off serving for them. Puts it over, and they're going to call that one in. So Jal is going to put the first points of the set on the board. Three serves again, and Avery's not going to be able to quite get the dig for the Coyotes. Avery's going to try to get the dig, but it's going to be a little out of control and just go crashing into the net. Three serve is dug by Colby on that one, and it's just going to go over the net and out of bounds. So Coyotes are having a hard time getting control of this serve by number 3. As Rice is going to spike it way out of bounds for the Coyotes there. Serves over.
That's a good serve by Caden Lujan.
Coyotes are able to return it over the net for the first time this set. As it's going to be out with the spike from De La O. Bringing the score 5-0 as Tatum's going to call the first time out of the set.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
We're going to be back after that quick timeout. So,
Looks like
Tatum.
we have.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, number 3 serving.
Ramirez sets for Rice. She's going to spike it over and score Tatum the first point of the set. So it looks like Coach Pierce drew something up during that halftime, was able to help the Coyotes get on the board and get possession of the serve here. But as Tatum kind of dominated the first set, Jal made a slight comeback there at the end, but wasn't enough to make it close. But Jal is now up 7-1 in the second set, so quite the turn of events as De La O serve's going to be way long for the Coyotes.
I have number 1 serving.
Ramirez sets it to Rice, who's going to spike it into the net. So looks like this Coyotes team may be a little shook up because they were putting a hurting on the Panthers, but Panthers are doing a good job of coming back and making the Coyotes fight for it here in this second set.
They are. I mean, I think this is going to be a really tough matchup.
Yeah, in the second set, especially as Jal comes out with a really big lead.
And a good block by number 10.
Yeah, was able to block Avery's spike, and two's going to spike it real powerful for the Panthers, as they're going to call that one in the rafters. Ramirez sets it for Avery, who gets a big spike, but number 10's not going to let her get it over the net. She's going to try again, but she's just going to tip it this time, maybe trying to throw him off guard. Ramirez's set is not capped. Not going to be taken advantage of by any of the Coyotes. A little miscommunication on the court. Big spike from Hennard. 10 would have had a good block, but that spike had so much heat behind it real hard, and 2's going to return the favor to this weak side of the Coyotes defense over here.
Yeah, number 10, Amela Milikon, has had a lot of good blocks this game.
Yeah, especially in the second set against Avery Hennard, as number 2 gets the big spike, gaining them the point of that rally. Dixon with a spike, and it's going to be out, so these Jal fans seem to be pretty excited about them being up by 11 points here in the second set after they kind of got crushed in the first one, so Coyotes need to pull it together here if they want to have a chance of winning the second set. Ramirez with a bad set, giving Jal the point of that rally, so these Lady Coyotes are struggling. Colby trying to help motivate the team out there.
The serve's good by number 1, Marian Nito.
Rice with a big spike. Ramirez sets it to Avery with a big spike for the Coyotes here.
3's going to pass it to 2. He's going to send her over the net.
Ramirez passes it to Avery, who's going to spike it out. Colby gets the dig. Ramirez sets it to Rice, who tips it over for the Coyotes.
And 3's going to set it to 7. He's going to set it or spike it over.
Rice is going to tap it over for the Coyotes.
And 3's going to tip it over.
Avery with a big spike, and that one's going to be in, folks. Turning the serve over to the Coyotes. Looks like Dixon's going to be serving. They were able to hold this serve pretty well in the first set, if I remember correctly, so hopefully they can do it again. They got a lot of ground to make up if they hope to come out on top in the second set. Serve by Dixon's good.
And three's gonna set it to 2. He spikes it over.
Young's ready for it this time and is able to get the dig on it as Avery spikes it a little bit in the net, but it's, I thought she had the spike, but they're gonna say that able to get a pancake and get under it, so.
Yeah, I think number 3 dug in it. She barely got it.
Looks like that's what the refs think anyway. Coach Pierce didn't seem to be too happy about that call, so. 15-14 now with the Coyotes struggling.
Good serve by number 10.
Rice sets it to Flores, who gets it put over in the middle of the floor with nobody there to get it for the Panthers, so. Rice serves up. Rice sets it to Avery.
It's going to be dug by number 8. And three's going to pass it over the net.
Rice sets it for Flores, who gets it tipped over for the Coyotes. As Flores gets a good block against that spike from number 2 from Jal. Rice sets it, and Colby's able to really be a good team player there and go after that one. Looks like Rice thought maybe there was somebody behind her, as Avery gets a really good spike for the Coyotes, so. Really good save by Colby there. Would have been out of bounds, and looked like most of the Coyotes had given up on it, but she wanted to still make it work as Rice serves in the net. Seventh serve is over. It's going to be out of bounds. Avery now serving for the Coyotes.
It's going to be dug by number 3. And number 12 is going to pass it over.
Rice sets it for Flores, who tips it over for the Coyotes.
And 7's going to tip it over the net.
Looks like the Coyotes weren't really prepared for that one as they were diving to try to save it.
Number 2 serving.
Coyotes really need to get something going here if they want any chance of coming back, as number 2's serve is going to end up in the net. Flores serve is over. She gets the dig, and Rice is going to tip it over for the Coyotes.
Number 7's going to hit it off for her, or get a good dig and save it for the Panthers.
Rice sets it, and Ramirez spikes it over for the Coyotes.
And 7's going to barely get it over.
Looks like they're going to call in the net. Number 7 for Jal, so maybe the Coyotes can get something started here as they trail by 10 in the second set. Flores spikes it over.
And 7's going to set it to 1. He's going to tip it over.
And it looked like none of the Coyotes were quite sure who should go for that one, so.
Got number 8 serving now. And serves good.
Delo gets it put over for the Coyotes, where none of the Panthers are able to go after it successfully here. Ramirez serve is over.
Well, 7's going to set it to 3, who's going to I guess spike it over.
Ramirez sets it for Dixon, who gets it put over the net for the Coyotes, resulting in a point. So the Coyotes have the start of a comeback here with Ramirez serving, and they've been able to hold this rotation pretty well in the first set. So they've got the makings of a comeback here. They just got to put all the pieces together. Three spikes going to be blocked by Dixon. As Jal's going to call their first time out of the second set. So quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Back after that timeout called by Jal here, as your Tatum Lady Coyotes lead 10-18 after they won the first set. So Ramirez's serve is over.
It's going to be dug by number 6.
We're going to call a two-touch on the Panthers there, turning it over to the Coyotes, as Ramirez will now serve again. Like I said, they've got the makings of a comeback here, as they've been able to hold this serve with a lot of success in the first set. They just got to keep it together here.
Well, number 3 is going to tip it over.
Ramirez sets it for Rice. Gets a big spike. It's going to be tipped and go and hit the ground inbounds. So Coyotes are just 6 points away now as Ramirez serves up.
Well, 7's going to set it to 3. He's going to spike it over.
Not too sure what the call was there. I didn't see how the ref called it, so they're going to turn it over to Jal now for number 3 to serve.
And the serves are good.
Rice with a big spike, and that one's going to be in. Young will now be serving for the Coyotes. Waiting on a whistle here as they get it. Young serve is good.
It's going to be dug by number 6. And 3's going to send it over the net.
As Rice gets the spike for the Coyotes. And looks like none of the Panthers were quite sure who to go after it there, so Coyotes now just trail by 5. Need to keep it together here as Young's serve is over.
Well, 3's going to tip it over the net.
Ramirez passes it, and Dixon's going to get it put over the net just barely, but it's enough to where it falls where none of the Panthers were expecting it. As Jal calls the timeout with your Tatum Lady Coyotes now just trailing by 4. They've made quite the comeback, folks. I think they were trailing by 12 at one point.
I think so, yeah, 12.
So, good effort by your Coyotes to come back. A quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand, and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Young's going to be serving for the Coyotes now. If we come back from that timeout. Ramirez sets it for Avery, who gets a good spike.
The three's going to shank it out of bounds.
Yeah, Rice is going to get another good spike, and it's going to be hard for the Panthers to get that one under control. As the Coyotes are making a remarkable comeback here, as they now only trail by 3. Young's serve is over.
Number 7's going to shank it up into the rafters.
Yeah, in the rafters and out of control. But the Panthers are not able to find a way to get it back over the net.
Three's going to set it to number 1. He's going to spike it over.
Rice with a big spike, and that one's going to go out of bounds.
Number 1 is now serving for the Panthers. And the serve is good.
Ramirez sets it for Avery, who gets a big spike. And the Panthers aren't able to return it back over the net here. As your Tatum Coyotes now only trail by 2. Dixon's serve is over.
Well, 3's going to set it for 2. He's going to spike it out of bounds.
Dixon serves over.
It's going to be dug by number 2. And 3's going to set it to 2. He's going to pass it over.
Ramirez with the set to Avery. She's going to tip it over the net.
And 3 is going to set it to 2. He's going to tip it over.
Ramirez with the set to Avery again. This time she's going to spike it.
A good dig by number 6.
I'm going to say in the net by one of the Panthers, as your Tatum Coyotes have now tied the Jal Panthers. When just a minute ago they were trailing by 12 points. They have made a remarkable comeback here, with Dixon now serving for the Coyotes. It's going to be over and good.
And number 10's going to tip it over.
Rice is going to just tap it over with one hand for the Coyotes.
And 3's going to bump it over. And number 7's going to dig it.
She's going to tip it over. Ramirez sets it over the net. Ramirez sets it to Avery, gets a big spike.
And 3's going to pass it over.
Ramirez sets it to Flores this time with a big spike, resulting in a point for the Coyotes. As this Coyotes team and fan seem to be getting pretty excited with the comeback the Coyotes have been able to pull off here.
Well, 3's going to set it to 2. He spikes it over.
That's going to be in. Looks like Dixon wasn't able to quite get there in time.
Number 10 is serving for the Panthers now.
Avery's going to try to get the dig, but it's going to go into the stands where some other Coyotes aren't able to retrieve it. So timeout by Tatum, I think. Not too sure who called that timeout, but quick word from our sponsors and we'll be right back.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
So we're going to come back after that timeout as the Jal Panthers break the huddle and head out onto the court as your Tatum Coyotes trail by 1 in the second set of this matchup here. And this is a district game. So this game matters a lot for state rankings and stuff, as both teams will head into the state tournament pretty soon. Ramirez sets it for Rice, who spikes it over.
And 7's going to set it for 2. He's going to spike it right into the net.
To let your Tatum Coyotes tie it up here. So your Tatum Coyotes are 5-1 in district. That one loss is to Texaco as of Thursday, and they were able to beat Texaco at home, so be interesting to see who comes out ranked higher. Hopefully it's the Coyotes, and I think it will be. Panthers were going to send it over, and none of the Coyotes were quite sure who was to go after that one. Rice sets it to Avery. It's a spike. And number 7's going to go after the ball, and just going to end up kind of sending it in the net, as this stadium's getting pretty rowdy here.
Well, number 3's going to send it over the net. And number 2's going to spike it out of bounds, giving the Coyotes the lead by 1.
So the Coyotes need to score here. This is set point. But if they manage and let Jal score, they'll have to get a few more points on the board, as they got to win by 2. And Avery's serve's going to be into the net. Sure, she's not too happy about that. So 24-24 here. To end this set quickly. One of the teams has to make it to 26 now.
Good serve by number 2.
As Rice tips it over for the Coyotes. Not too sure what that call was, but gives Jal the lead, as the serve's going to go way over and out of bounds, tying it up 25-25 here in Jal. Rice sets it to Dixon.
Well, 7 passes it over.
Rice passes it to Avery. He's going to get, not going to get it passed over the net for the Coyotes. Scores now 26-5, and this stadium is getting loud here.
Number 6 serving for the Panthers, and the serve is good.
Ramirez sets it to Dixon and gets it spiked over. It's going to be tipped, so that'll tie up the score once again, 26-26 here. They're going to call it not tipped. As Jal's going to come out on top in the second set here in Jal, so quite the upset by the Jal Panthers. So quick advertisement, and we'll be right back with the third set here.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
The Tatum Schools are a proud sponsor of this live broadcast. Tatum Schools are very proud of every single student. With the dedication in the classroom and the dedication in your community, you've made all of Tatum and Lee County very proud. All your hard work is paying off, Coyotes. The entire staff.
As they run the last little bit of time off the scoreboard here, I'm going to have to cut that advertisement a little short as Ramirez goes to serve for the Coyotes in the third set. Ball is good and over. Ramirez gets it put over the net for the Coyotes as they're coming out pretty aggressive, acting in this third set, trying to really put the Panthers away. I don't think they were too happy about losing that second set. Isabel's serve is over.
Ald's going to hit it over.
Ramirez sets it for Dixon, who's just going to tip it over for the Coyotes. Dalo with a pretty good spike for the Coyotes, gets it over the net. Dixon has to send it over twice.
Well, Seven's going to set it to 1.
Dixon gets a block. He sends it over again. Colby digs. Ramirez sets it.
It's going to be blocked by number 10.
Yeah, Rice gets a big set, and that's going to go out of bounds. A good rally by both teams there. Coyotes getting the point at the end of it. As Ramirez's serve is up and over.
Well, one's going to spike it over.
Rice sets it for, or Ramirez sets it for Rice, and they end up getting the point after number 1's not able to quite dig it the way she wants to assist her team. So, like I said, the Coyotes have had a lot of success holding this serve with Ramirez serving, and Dixon in the front row especially been making lots of big plays for the Coyotes here.
Yeah, I mean, I think Miss Coach Hobbs is doing a good job coaching these Coyotes with their pink tutu and everything.
Yeah, it was twin day at Tatum for Red Ribbon Week, and Coach Hobbs and Coach Graham both wear their pink tutus with like Ace Ventura, or Jim Carrey, and I think it's Ace Ventura, and they have shirts on that say "Put me in, Coach" with him on them. So pretty funny. And it was quite comical to see him at school today, all dressed up. As Dixon's serve goes out, giving Jal the point of that rally. Coyotes still showing a little bit of miscommunication on the court. They really need to get that ironed out, and I think they can, to come out here and beat out Jal in 4. sets here.
Well, 3's going to set it for number 1 is going to spike it over.
So the Panthers are not going to be able to quite get that one over the net. As the point of that rally goes to Tatum, with Young now serving for the Coyotes. And it's up, boing.
Well, number 10 is going to bump it over the net.
Ramirez sets for Rice, who just tips it over the net for the Coyotes. As Ramirez puts it over.
Well, 3's going to tip it over.
And Avery with a big spike into the middle of the court, giving none of the Panthers a chance to go get it. Young's serve is going to be nothing but net there, folks. Which is not what the Coyotes wanted, as the Panthers only trail by 1 now.
Well, the serve from number 1 is good.
Young digs it, as Ramirez is able to pass it to Dixon, who gets it over the net for the Coyotes.
And number 7's going to spike it over. Good dig by number 7, while 3 sets it to 2.
Dug by Avery, and Dixon's not going to be able to quite get the tip on it, put it over the net, as these two teams are now tied here in Jal. Ramirez passes it to Avery, who gets it sent over the net for the Coyotes.
Well, number 3's going to dig it. And 7 sets it to 2, passes it over.
Avery with a good spike from the Coyotes. Haven't seen him set it up quite like that before, but it worked out as Colby gets the dig and Ramirez sets it to Rice, who gets the spike inbounds. Coyotes put a point on the board. Dixon's serve is good.
Well, number 2's going to save it for the Panthers.
But Flores spikes it over into no man's land, giving the Coyotes another point. Dixon's serve is going to be a little short and in the net for the Coyotes. Coyotes have had a good bit of trouble getting the ball over the net with the serves here. Hopefully they're able to get that fixed.
Good serve from number 10. It's going to be dug by number 6. And 3's going to set it to 2's going to tip it over.
Ramirez sets it to Avery, who spikes it in the middle of the court. Good ball placement on Hennard's spike there. As Jal's going to sub in and out a few players. With a score 6-8 as Rice goes to take the serve for the Coyotes, and it's going to be nothing but net, folks. Not what the Coyotes needed here. Like I said, they are really struggling getting it over the net. Serving-wise, I think just some nerves and maybe getting ahead of themselves, thinking about what they're going to do after the serve and not focusing on what they need to do first. But they're going to get a point there, bring the score 9-7 with Avery now serving for the Coyotes. Rice sets it. Flores spikes it for the Coyotes. Flores gets the block. Avery with a good serve for the Coyotes. Colby with a good dig. Rice sets it to Avery, who gets it sent over for the Coyotes.
Batu's going to miss a spike and going to give another point to the Coyotes.
Yeah, little help by Flores there with a little bit of a block. So they're holding this serve really well here in this third set, as Avery's able to get an ace off of that. As Jal will call a timeout here in the third set. Word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Back after that timeout called by Jal. Avery sends it over the net for the Coyotes. And a big spike from De La O. Looks like the refs called the point for Jal there. Maybe De La O in the net, I'm not too sure. But they're calling for the serve coming from number 2, as she's gonna serves up and nothing but net. Flores' serve is up.
Well, Seven's going to set it to number 1. He's going to spike it over and gaining a point for the Panthers.
9-13 now, as number 6 will be serving for Jal. Ramirez sets it to De La O, and she's not going to be able to quite get the spike high enough. As Jal closes the gap and are only trailing by 3 now.
Someone's going to set it to 1. He's going to tip it over.
Hennard passes it to Hennard, and Avery spikes good and over and not received by any of the Panthers. Ramirez serves up. Dixon's spiked. They're going to call it out, so put another point on Jal's scoreboard. Seems like the Coyotes in some rotations really good. They're able to hold some serves for a long time. I know this is a new rotation for the Coyotes since the Texaco game, so maybe they're just trying to get comfortable with it and figure some things out.
Number 3 now serving for the Panthers.
They're able to hold Ramirez's serves good and Avery's most of the time, so once they get the rest of it figured out, I'm sure they'll be pretty tough to beat. As Ramirez sets it to Rice, who gets a big spike, and that one's going to be out. Close, but out. 13-14. As this third set's getting pretty close. Colby with a dig. Ramirez passes it to Rice, who gets it tipped over the net for the Coyotes.
Number 7's going to spike it over.
Colby with a spike from the back row.
And number 1 is going to save it, and 3's going to send it back over the net.
Good dig by Colby, gets it sent back over the net.
Number 3's going to tip it over.
Yeah, Colby's showing a lot of hustle out there trying to keep this lead as that one goes out of bounds. And I think that's what the Coyotes need, really, with a new rotation and having some things they don't have completely figured out, is somebody like Colby to go and hustle and step up when needed. So the Coyotes team's doing a pretty good job here against Jal, as Young's serve is good and over. Dixon tries to get the block. Going to be just barely unsuccessful as Rice is able to help her get it put back over the net. Good spike by Avery.
Number 1's going to bump it over. Three's going to try to tip it, but she's going to miss it, and it's going to go out.
Yeah, be a little short there. Young's serve is over, and it's going to be out. So, a little too much power behind that one.
With number 1 now serving for the Panthers.
Serve's going to be way high as Ramirez sets it to Avery with a big spike, and number 10 for Jal is not going to be able to quite get the block there.
Number 3's going to set it for 2. Is going to tip it over.
Avery's going to tip it over and to no man's land where none of the Panthers are able to get to it in time. Bringing the score 18-14 here in the third set. Ramirez sets it for Flores, gets a good spike for the Coyotes.
Well, 7's going to set it up for number 10. He's going to spike it over.
Rice is going to get it put over for the Coyotes. Young's going to end up hitting it over for the Coyotes there as Ramirez sets it for Avery. Big spike, but it's going to be blocked by number 10. And Rice is going to try to spike it, but it's going to end up in the net there.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, number 10 has some really big blocks in this game so far.
Yeah, and that net's just not being Tatum's friend tonight. They've been just barely short a lot of times, as Rice and Henry are going to have a little fender-bender collision. Tin serve is over. Rice is going to be blocked as the Panthers now close in on the Coyotes, trailing only by 1. Tin serve is good. Dug by Colby, and Flores wasn't able to get to it in time as Coach Hobbs calls a quick timeout with the score 18-18 here in the third.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
We're going to be back after this Tatum timeout as the Tatum team's out on the floor, and Jal's going to come out of the huddle and head that way too.
Well, number 10, Amaya Melikon, serving now for the Jal Panthers.
Rice sets it for Avery, who gets a good spike. Ramirez sets it for Avery.
Well, number
That's another
10
good spike.
gonna dig it though, and number 2 is gonna tip it over.
Flores puts it over for the Coyotes there. Ramirez sets it for Rice.
Well, number 2 is gonna spike it over.
Lots of big spikes from Avery tonight. And that one's going to end in success, as shown by the scoreboard. Rice now serving for the Coyotes.
Big dig by number 5.
Rice sets it for Avery, who spikes it for the Coyotes.
Number 8's gonna dig it. Or 3's gonna tip it over. Three tips or sets it for 2, spikes it over. It's gonna be out. Or in.
Yeah, it kind of looked out, but line judges are gonna call that one in. Bring the score 19-19 now as they're tied in the third set.
Number 7 serving now for the Panthers.
Rice with a good set to Flores. Gets it put over for the Coyotes.
Well, number 2 is gonna spike it into the net.
Gonna get blocked though.
Well, 3's gonna spike it over.
Rice passes it to Avery, who gets it passed over the net for the Coyotes.
Number 8's gonna tip it.
Spike from Flores. Gonna be 2's gonna return the favor from the Panthers. As Velo goes to spike it and not gonna make very good contact with the ball there.
Good serve by number 2. Well, 3's gonna spike it over.
Rice is gonna set it for Flores, who gets it spiked over for the Coyotes, and that one's gonna be in.
Number 2 is gonna try to dig it, but couldn't get there quick enough. There's gonna be a timeout called.
Yeah, so I was just looking on Max Preps. The other time that these two teams faced off against each other, Tatum was able to put them away in threes, so Jal must be doing a really good job this night. So a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Flores is going to serve it over for the Coyotes to start off after that timeout. DeLo's going to spike it over for the Coyotes and in the middle of the floor. Good ball placement there. We're going to score 23-20 here. Flores' serve is good. She tries to get the dig on it, but not going to be able to quite make it happen.
Number 6 serving now for the Panthers.
Ramirez sets it to Dixon. Gets a spike for the Coyotes.
Well, number 7's going to set it up for 10, who's going to tip it over.
Spike over from DeLo as 10's going to get passed over from the Panthers. Rice sets it for Dixon. Gets it tipped over.
And number 1 is going to spike it for the Panthers, but
Good.
it's going to be saved.
Yeah, good save by Avery there. Really showing some hustle out on the court as Dixon's going to get the block there. Set point for your Coyotes with Ramirez serving, so they got to be able to put them away with relative ease here as the Coyotes are strong and have been able to hold this serve with lots of success.
But he's going to tip it over.
Dixon's going to get the block and spike it over. Ramirez sets for Rice. Gets it spiked over.
Well, 7's going to set it up for 1, who's going to pass it over for the Panthers.
Ramirez sets it for Dixon, and Coyotes are going to put it into that set as they win out against the Panthers, 25-21. So, with Tatum having 2 sets won and Jal having 1, we'll come back after this advertisement for the 4th set and see if your Coyotes can put them away in 4.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington. Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
We're going to be back here in the fourth set as your Tatum Coyotes have 1-2 and Jal has 1-1. Number 3 will be serving for the Panthers to start off, and she's going to send it into the net, putting the first points on the scoreboard of this set on Tatum's side, as Ramirez will now serve for the Coyotes.
Number 2 is going to dig it, and 3 is going to set up for 2. Is going to tip it over. Good block by number 10.
Yeah, De Lo's serve is going to be blocked and tied up 1-1 here.
I think that's going to be Amaya Milikon for the Panthers.
She's made some big plays for him playing front row. Some big blocks and a few spikes as Rice is going to spike it, and that's going to go out.
As the serve from number 1 is good.
Ramirez sets it for Dixon, who gets a good spike, but it's going to be out of bounds.
I think that's another problem that the Coyotes have had, is spiking it and hitting it out of bounds.
Yeah, they're in the nets. But if they can kind of get it in bounds and stay out of the net, they ought to be putting them away pretty handily, as Ramirez's set to Rice is good. And it's going to be, Rice's tip is going to be out of bounds. I don't know what the Coyote struggles are out there, but maybe they're trying to play a little bit too aggressive, as it seems to be, like you said, going out of bounds a lot.
Well, number 3 is going to set it for 7. Is going to spike it, but it's going to be hit off of Dixon's hands going out of bounds.
Yeah, good block by Dixon. The ball just had a lot of spin on it and force and sent it out of bounds, so. Ramirez sets it for Rice, gets the spike.
It's going to be dug by number 3, and 2's going to tip it over for the Panthers.
Ramirez sets it, and Rice gets it put over.
Number 10's going to tip it over for the Panthers.
Ramirez sets it. Rice spikes it, and it's going to go out of bounds, so that'll turn the serve over to the Coyotes now. I think it'll be Young serving for the Coyotes. Serves over and good.
7's going to pass it over the net for the Panthers.
So Avery tries to get a spike. It's a little too far in front of her, and it's just going to fall apart from there.
Well, number 10 is serving for the Panthers now.
Ramirez sets it to Rice, gets it spiked over.
Number 3 is going to set it up for 6. He's going to tip it over.
Rice and going to get the block, and that one's going to be in the rafters, so.
Yeah, I think that was by number 2.
Dixon's serve is good.
Well, 7's going to set it up for 2. He's going to tip it over for the Panthers.
Big spike from Rice, and it's going to be in the net.
Yeah, number 7 serving now for the Panthers. And the serve is going to be good.
Rice sets it for Flores, tips it over for the Coyotes.
Number 3 is going to tip it over for the Panthers. Seven's going to set it up for 2. He's going to spike it over.
Ramirez goes to tip it over And she's not going to be able to quite get it done. As your Tatum Coyotes now trail by 5. That serve is going to be in the net, bringing the score 8-4. And Rice's serve is going to be in the net.
And the serve from number 2 is going to be good.
Rice sets it over the net.
And number 7 is going to shank it. It's going to go out.
Coyotes trailing by 5. Avery's serve is going to be off the tip of the net, fall right down on the Panthers. So close call, but results in a point nonetheless. As her serve this time has a lot better ball placement.
And number 3 is going to spike it over for the Panthers. It's going to be resulting in a point for the Panthers as well.
Yeah, good ball placement there in this far back corner. None of the Coyotes were there to receive it.
And number 6 is serving.
Avery's going to get it passed over the net for the Coyotes.
And 7 is going to set it up for 2, who's going to spike it over, but that one's going to be out.
Coyotes have closed the gap here, though, as they only trail by 3, with Flores up to serve for them. Serves over. It's going to be out to that far side. So I agree with what you said earlier, Caden. They're having a lot of trouble keeping it in the court and out of the net.
Yeah. As a serve from number 3 is good.
Avery's going to get the dig, and none of the Coyotes were able to get to it in time. Coyotes really need to get something going here. As Avery digs it again, and it goes over here into the stands as Coach Pierce calls the timeout. Quick break and we'll be right back.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated.
Cut the advertisement short as number 3 is going to be serving for the Panthers and is going to put it in the net. Ramirez now serving for the Coyotes. Maybe they can hold this serve. They've had some luck doing it in the past. They really need to now.
Well, 3 is going to set it up for number 7, who's going to spike it over.
Ramirez sets it for De La O. It's a big spike, but it's out of bounds. Ramirez passes it to Dixon, who gets it spiked over.
And number 10 is going to bump it, and it's going to cause number 7 to tip it over, gaining a point for the Panthers.
Coyotes are really struggling here, folks. Just can't seem to make it all work.
Well, the serve from number 1 is good.
Big spike by Rice up into the stands.
Good catch strip.
Yeah, trying to attack me, but It's going to be a point for the Coyotes as the score is now 15-9 from that good spike. Young coming out with the serve. It's up and over.
Someone's going to spike it over for the Panthers.
Ramirez sets it for Avery, and she's going to get the spike and send it over as Tim's not able to get the block. Young serving again.
And 3's going to set it up for number 2. He's going to spike it over for the Panthers, getting them a point.
Yeah, Colby's not able to get the dig in time. Tin serves over, dug by Colby. Ramirez sets it to Rice, gets it tipped over. Panthers diving after it, but they're going to eventually get it tipped over as Ramirez sets it for Avery, who gets a big spike for the Coyotes. That number 10 for the Panthers isn't able to receive there. Dixon serving for the Coyotes.
Number 2 is going to pass it over for the Panthers.
As a ball comes out of the stands and onto the court. So, called jump there and have to reserve from Dixon. Good serve. It's going to be an ace off the hands of number 7. As Jal calls the timeout, so quick advertisement and we'll be right back.
Attention shoppers. Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Back after that timeout with Dixon now serving.
Number 5 is going to get it over for the Panthers.
Ramirez sets it to Avery, who gets a good spike in the middle of the floor.
Looks like number 5 tried to dive for it, but couldn't get there quick enough.
Dixon now serving for the Coyotes. The ball goes over.
Number 8's going to set it up, and 2's going to tip it over.
Kind of falls apart there for the Coyotes, and they're not able to get it back over the net.
Number 7 serving for the Panthers.
Flores gets the spike, and it's going to result in a point for the Coyotes as they now only trail by 4. So, close match with the Coyotes trailing the whole time. Rice's serve is good.
7's going to set it, and number 3 is going to tip it over.
Flores with a spike for the Coyotes there. She's not able to get the timing right for the block, and it's going to result in a point for the Panthers.
Number 2 serving for the Panthers now. The serve is going to be good.
Rice sets it to Avery, who tips it over for the Coyotes there.
Well, one of the Panthers is going to shoot it up into the rafters, but number 3 is going to get it over.
Big spike from Avery. Panthers are barely able to get it over. As Flores with a big spike. None of the Coyotes are able to get to it in time as it hits the far back corner again.
Serves good.
Rice sets it to into the net. Rice sets it into the net. As Coach Pierce calls a timeout. With a score 21-14 here, the Jal Panthers are leading, so this is not what the Coyotes want to see at all, as we'll go to a quick advertisement break.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
We're going to be back after that quick timeout with number 2 serving for the Panthers here. As your Tatum Lady Coyotes will try to make a comeback here as they trail by 7. Big dig by Colby, sends it over the net.
And number 1's going to spike it over.
Rice is going to get it over the net. Free ball. But it ends up in a point for the Coyotes, so luck was on their side for once tonight. Avery now serving for the Coyotes. Good serve.
And it's going to be dug by number 8. And 2's going to pass it over for the Panthers.
Rice sets it for Hernandez, who passes it over the net.
Then 7's going to set it up for 3. He's going to spike it over, resulting in a point for the Panthers.
Coyotes are having a hard time covering that corner over here. That's the 3rd or 4th time I can distinctly remember them spiking it to this corner and scoring. So hopefully the Coyotes can get that figured out. Maybe Coach Hobb changes a thing or two up. Serve's going to be dug by De La O. Colby passes it to Rice, who passes it over.
And 7's going to set it up for number 1, I believe.
Hernandez sets it for Rice, and Rice sets it for Hernandez, who sends it over.
And number 3 is going to spike it over, but it's going to be out.
Hernandez, the freshman, now serving for the Coyotes. Put in just a minute ago. Hopefully she can maybe bring in a little bit of new luck with her to help these Coyotes come back. Because her serve is going to be in the net, so maybe not.
Doesn't make good by number 3.
Dug by Colby, and none of the other Coyotes are able to get there in time. That's it, is now set point for Jal. Dug by Avery. Ramirez sets it to Dixon, who spikes it and gets the Coyotes a point.
Yeah, number 2 was diving for it again, but she couldn't get there fast enough.
I mean, it is definitely possible for the Coyotes to make a comeback, but they're going to have to play flawlessly, as Jal's just 1 point away from winning this set. Ramirez's serve is good.
Number 3 is going to set it up for 7. who's going to spike it over.
Ramirez sets it for Rice, gets it bumped over for the Coyotes. Ramirez sets it for Dixon, spikes it over and out. So that'll be the fourth set, folks, as Jal will win it. So it's going to come down to the fifth set here in Jal and see if your Coyotes will be able to pull it off.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartHub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the SmartHub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the SmartHub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with SmartHub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve. Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called SmartHub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime, with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the SmartHub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the SmartHub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with SmartHub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
Attention shoppers, Bob's Thriftway welcomes you to Lovington, New Mexico. This week you'll save big on grocery items throughout their store. Save big on produce, household items, bread products, and meats. Every week, Bob's Thriftway has big savings for their customers. Bob's Thriftway is your local hometown grocery store. So for the freshest produce, the best meats, shop Bob's Thriftway, 906 West Avenue D in Lovington.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
We're here in the fifth set with your Tatum Lady Coyotes playing the Jal Panthers in Jal as they're tied. Both teams have won 2 sets. So the Coyotes need to put them away here, folks, with Ramirez serving to start us off.
Number 7's going to set it up for 3. He's going to spike it over.
And Dixon's not able to quite get the block. Giving Jal the first points of the set.
Number 3 is going to be serving. That's good.
Off the hands of Colby, and she's not able to get it under control and dig it to one of her teammates. She shanks it out of bounds. But she's going to pass it over the net now for the Coyotes.
And 3's going to set it up for number 1 is going to hit it over.
We're going to call the Coyotes in the net there, so. DeLo passes it over for the Coyotes.
And number 3 is going to set it up for number 10.
Rice goes to spike it, and she's going to end up putting it in the net. As Tatum calls a timeout. Word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Remember, kid, there's heroes and there's legends. Heroes get remembered, but legends never die.
Legendary Services would like everyone to recognize the Tatum Coyote team and coaches for a season filled with hard work and dedication. Everyone at Legendary Services is extremely proud of each and every one of you. Best of luck in this game and shoot for a finish in a legendary way.
Number 3 now serving for Jal as Colby successfully gets the dig on that one. And Rice cranks it into the net. The Coyotes are struggling, folks. Coming into this game, I thought they'd put them away in 3, and now they're down 5 in the fifth set. So
yeah, number 3, Caden Lujan, is like really holding the serve right now.
As Ramirez and Avery unable to get the pass on it. Number 3 gets the serve. Rice spikes it for the Coyotes.
Number 1's going to save it. Number 10's going to send it over for the Panthers.
Ramirez sets it for Dixon to spike. Ramirez sets it for Dixon. It's a good spike and puts the Coyotes' first points on the board for the 5th set here.
Yeah, number 3's going to try to dig it, but she can't get there in time.
Young serving for the Coyotes now. As Dixon misses the tip.
There's a serve from number 1.
Young's not able to get the dig. So that'll be an ace for the Panthers as the Coyotes now trail by 7 with a score 8-1 here in the 5th set. Ramirez sets it to Avery. It's a good spike and another good one, and it's going to be called in. Dixon now serving for the Coyotes.
Number 3's going to set it up for 2. He's going to spike it over, but it's going to be blocked. That's going to go out of bounds, tipped off the hands of one of the Coyotes.
Yeah, Rice had a good block there, but just so much force behind that ball when it came off her hands that it went way out of bounds. So
we have number 10 serving now for the Panthers.
Avery with a good spike. With Rice now serving for the Coyotes.
Yeah, number 8's going to try to dive for it, but again, she can't get there in time.
So your Coyotes starting to put some points on the board finally, so quick commercial break and we'll be right back.
Introducing a smarter, easier way to manage your Lee County Electric account. It is called Smart Hub. Now you can pay your bill anywhere, anytime with 24-hour access to your account. It is free and simple to use. Just search for the Smart Hub app on your cell phone or device and download the free app, or go to our website at lcecnet.com and look for the Smart Hub logo to view your account or pay your bill online. Managing your Lee County Electric account conveniently and securely with Smart Hub. Lee County Electric, owned by those we serve.
To the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Rice's serve is good.
Number 1's going to pass it over for the Panthers.
Rice sets it for Avery, who gets a pretty good spike tipped off the hands of number 2. Looks like these Coyote fans really thought that was a tip, but they're going to say it wasn't. I thought it was tipped when number 2 went up for the... Nope, they're going to call it tipped. Never mind. So that's going to end up in the Coyotes' favor. So we'll bring the score in. Looks like there may be some confusion on the court, but they're going to get it sorted out pretty quick here. As Rice will now be serving for the Coyotes. Serves over.
Number 3 is going to pass it to 7. Is going to tip it over for the Panthers.
Colby gets it sent over for the Coyotes.
And number 3 is going to tip it over again.
Flores goes to put it over the net and puts a little too much power behind it as they now trail by 5.
Here's a serve from number 7.
Colby's going to get sent over for the Coyotes. Henry with a big spike.
It's going to be saved by number 5.
Flores sends it back over.
Well, number 3 is going to spike it over for the Panthers.
Good dig by Colby. Rice is going to shank it, so. That'll be a timeout called as your Tatum Coyotes trail by 6 here in the 5th.
Eunice Pump and Supply has been around for over 30 years and is excited to continue their services to the community. They take pride in their employees and their hard work and dedication, and most importantly, take pride in the youth of Lee County. Eunice Pump and Supply is a proud supporter of all Lee County athletics and academics. Eunice Pump and Supply, 1310 Avenue O in Eunice, another proud supporter of Lee County athletics.
Number 7 serving again.
Back after that timeout. Hennard passes it to Hennard, and Hennard passes it over the net.
Well, 7's going to set it up for 2. Is going to spike it over.
Colby gets it sent over the net for the Coyotes.
Number 7's going to set it up again. And number 3 is just going to tip it over, but the Coyotes are going to be able to tip it back over.
Rice sets it to Young, who gets it spiked over for the Coyotes.
And 7 sets it up again for 3. He's going to spike it over.
Rice sets it for Avery. Gets it put over the net for the Coyotes.
The spike from number 2 is going to be out.
Avery with a good serve. It'll end up as an ace as number 8's not able to dig it up off the floor. DeLo passes it to Rice, who passes it to Flores to get over the net.
Number 3 is going to pass it over for the Panthers.
Rice sets it. Avery with a big spike, and it's out of bounds.
The serve from number 2.
Dug by De La O. Rice sets it backwards and over the net. It's going to be a little too much on it. as it goes out of bounds. Cool move, though. I would have not been expecting that, but just a little bit too much power as Colby's going to let that one go out of bounds, playing it safe here and putting a point on the board for the Coyotes. As I said, I think she's had a really good game, hustling around and just filling out all the cracks for this Coyotes team and playing a smart game. As Sophia's going to get a ace with nobody touching it in this back corner. 2 quick points on the board for the Coyotes. Hopefully they can make it 3 or 4. The Flowers now serving. Serves over.
Number 7's gonna pass it to 1, who's gonna get it over the net.
Rice passes it to Avery. He gets a pretty good spike.
Number 6 gonna set it up for 1, who's gonna tip it over.
Dixon puts it over for the Coyotes there. Good tip.
And number 6 is gonna tip it over for the Panthers.
De La O spikes it into the corner over there, putting a point on the Coyotes side of the scoreboard. Flores still serving for the Coyotes as they come back, now only trailing by 3. Good serve, and it's going to be out. Jal's going to have to call a timeout as the Coyotes were quickly closing the distance. So, word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Western States Insurance.
Why choose Western States Insurance as your independent insurance agent? Because Western States Insurance is more than an insurance agency. They're a people agency dedicated to the insurance needs of their customers. Western States Insurance is large enough to provide the products you demand and small enough to offer you personal service.
We've got you covered. Western States Insurance.
Call 396-1318 or go by 212 North Love in Lovington.
Flowers now serving for the Coyotes.
It's going to be dug by number 12. Number 6 is going to send it over for the Panthers. Number 6 is going to set it up for 3. He's going to tip it over.
That's going to be blocked by Dixon and Hernandez there.
7's going to set it up again for 3. He's going to tip it over.
Good save by Rice there, stepping up. Getting it put back over the net.
1's going to tip it over. One's going to spike it into the net, but I think it might have been blocked by Dixon there.
Coyotes now just trail by 1 as they have made quite the comeback here. They just need to get ahead and stay that way all the way to 25. As Flores now serves for the Coyotes. Once again, they've had success holding this serve.
Number 1's going to send it over the net for the Panthers.
Rice sets it to De La O.
And 3's going to spike it over.
De La O saves it, and Avery with a big save. Got a little hectic, but they got it put back over the net. Rice passes it to Avery, who gets it passed over the net.
And 7's going to set it up again for 3. He's going to spike it over.
Rice is going to get it put over the net, and just a little bubble there.
That was a crazy rally.
Yeah, that was quite impressive and really hectic at points.
Number 6 serving for the Panthers now. As the service is going to be good.
Hernandez sets it for De La O, gets a good spike, blocked by 10 and sent back over by Rice.
Number 3 is going to tip it over. Number 1 is going to spike it over. It's going to be called in.
It's going to be in, folks. And that'll be the 5th set. with the Panthers winning 15-12 here in the 5th. So, not what anybody wanted, but the Jal Panthers are going to beat the Tatum Coyotes in 5. So,
Yeah, that was a pretty tough matchup, I'd say.
yeah.
I mean, the Coyotes just easily won in the first set, but lost in the second, barely won in the third, and then they lost in the fourth and the fifth.
Yep, so Coyotes struggling. They've got a game Thursday against Hagerman. I know JV starts at 4:30, and as always, varsity will play after that. So hopefully this Tatum team can get it ironed out and fixed before then. Until then, I think that is our next broadcasting. And then the football in the state tournament, they have a bye week this week, so that will be our next broadcasting game. So be sure to tune into that one on Thursday as Tatum will take on Hagerman at home. Until then, I think that's about it. So everybody have a good night. This is Tripp and Kane out.